Hello, friends, and welcome to Move Your World from Within. This is a space where we explore thought-provoking ideas and practical wisdom that can bring true, meaningful change into your life. Just a quick note, this channel is actually available in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Marathi, with separate playlists for each. Alright, so today's topic is, well, it's a bit sensitive. We are discussing freedom of thought and those invisible boundaries that silently restrict it.
Now, before we dive in, viewer discretion is advised. Some of the ideas in this explainer might disturb you, or they may challenge your deep-rooted beliefs. So whenever you feel the need, just pause. Take a moment to reflect and absorb. Because, this topic, it's not really just about information. It is profoundly about awareness.
So what exactly is freedom of thought? Well, it's often defined as the ability to think anything freely, completely without restriction. I mean, your thoughts are your most private space, right? No one can directly see them, no one can physically enter them, at least not yet.
But here is the real question I want us to ponder. Even if absolutely no one can see your thoughts, are you truly free to think anything?
Well, let us explore that together. Let's start by discussing the first layer, practical constraints.
Let us begin with some simple, everyday examples. Can you comfortably think to yourself, today I don't feel like going to work, I will not go? Or what about, tomorrow I want to travel to another part of the world, let's just go? Really notice your internal reaction right now.
For a lot of people, the mind immediately responds with something like, that's irresponsible, or that's not practical. Maybe that's impossible, or what about money, or what about the rules? Now, let us be completely rational here. The limitation isn't that you cannot think it. You technically can, but your conditioning immediately suppresses the thought.
And why is that? It's because of financial dependency. It's organizational rules, social expectations, fear of consequences. You see, this is not a lack of intelligence, it is psychological conditioning. Your mind has learned these boundaries, and these boundaries, they feel like absolute reality.
Now, let's move on and discuss the second layer, self-worth boundaries.
Let us go a little deeper here. Can you freely think, I am worthy? Or, I deserve the best things in life. I can become wealthy. I am capable of greatness. If you're feeling any discomfort, guilt, or even just a bit of hesitation right now, I want you to observe that carefully.
Why would thinking positively about yourself actually feel uncomfortable? Well, it's often because of early conditioning. Things like don't be arrogant or stay in your limits. Maybe you constantly heard people like us don't become rich or wanting too much is selfish. Over time, these messages become invisible mental fences. So you are not stopped by society anymore. You are being stopped by your own internalized beliefs.
As discussed in the book, Move Your World from Within, your world is entirely shaped by your point of view. Think about it. If your point of view about yourself is limited, your world will be limited. Your feelings directly reflect your experienced reality. So if thinking big creates fear, well, that fear itself reveals the boundary.
This brings us to the third layer, social and ideological boundaries.
Now, let us enter some slightly more sensitive territory. Can you think, and I don't mean act, just think, something that questions your religion? Can you think of criticizing a political leader you strongly support? Can you mentally explore an opposing ideology without getting angry? Many people experience immediate internal resistance here. And again, let us be perfectly clear. This is not about disrespect. It is not about rebellion. It is purely about observation.
So why does even thinking feel dangerous? It's because human beings are deeply wired for belonging. We naturally fear social rejection, being labeled, being excluded. Now, the fear might not always be conscious, but trust me, it exists. This is exactly what we call invisible boundaries. They aren't imposed by the police. They are imposed by a profound psychological need for safety and identity.
Now listen to an important clarification here. Exploring these boundaries does not mean that you must reject your beliefs or disrespect tradition or oppose authority. Not at all. It only means you become aware of your mental limits. Remember, awareness is not rebellion. Awareness is clarity.
Let's talk about the real truth regarding freedom of thought. Theoretically, yeah, many societies grant freedom of thought. But practically, your thoughts are heavily shaped by culture, family, education, media, fear, identity, past experiences, the whole shebang. Absolute freedom of thought may actually be impossible, simply because the mind itself is built from past impressions. But expanded freedom of thought, that is definitely possible. And that expansion begins right there with awareness.
Let's take a look at a deeper insight. In the book,
One truly powerful idea is this.
Only completed action, karma, moves your world. And here's the core connection. If your thinking is restricted, your actions are going to be restricted. And if your actions are restricted, your world is just not going to move. So freedom of thought is not about fantasy. It is about expanding the range of possibilities your mind actually allows so that meaningful action becomes possible.
So, what is the solution to all of this? Well, the solution is not reckless rebellion. It is inner strengthening.
It comes down to a few key things. First, awareness. Just consciously observe your mental reactions. Second, reflection. Ask yourself, why does this thought scare me? Then there's financial independence, because dependency naturally limits courage. Also, emotional strength, learning to tolerate discomfort. Intellectual honesty is absolutely crucial too. You have to question respectfully, and that includes questioning yourself. And finally, courage. Not courage to destroy, but to understand. Because when you become stronger internally, your invisible boundaries start dissolving. And when those boundaries dissolve, your world expands.
Let's do a final reflection here. You may not be able to control the world outside, but you can completely examine the world inside. And as we explore throughout Move Your World from Within, your world does not change first on the outside. It changes from within.
So let's pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, what is one thought I have never allowed myself to think? That question alone can begin your entire journey toward inner freedom. If this idea resonated with you, I really encourage you to explore more of these thought-provoking insights in the book Move Your World from Within. Inculcate the habit of reading, challenge your assumptions, expand your awareness. Because when your thinking expands, your world moves.